But things have changed in a good way. And people on the right, people on the left, and all are starting to agree, hey, we have problems and we have to stop this political division before it destroys us completely. Christmas is coming up and you'll probably be getting together here soon with a family member who voted differently than you. Okay, can you bring that back together? That old friend that you had? Can they believe that you're not a fascist or a communist?
Notice how he wants to know whether those radical left people can stop being insane and calling people fascists. They're evil. He's dividing in his statement about we should stop dividing each other, right? He's not asking about whether MAGA can stop thinking of their old friend as a pedophile and that they're communists and all of that. He's not asking them, right? Question is, can those crazy lefties...
Anna Kasparian, how you would self-identify yourself over the last 10 years?
Well, I would say that I was firmly identifying myself as a Democrat. I think that if you look at my policy prescriptions, for the most part, I'm still pretty much left-wing.
So she identifies herself as a Democrat. Now, here's the interesting thing. She literally was and probably still is. But she wasn't identifying as a Democrat, right? She was aggressively going after the Democrats, this, Democrats, that, right? I mean, I thought she was identifying herself as a progressive, a radical progressive at that. But now she's a Democrat. Okay. But now she wants to paint herself as a Democrat, which is perfect because the audience that she's in front of thinks of Democrats as the leftists, right? The Democrats are the extreme, that's what they think. They don't see the difference between a liberal and a democratic socialist, a communist, a progressive. It's all the same to them. And she's helping them to launder this rhetoric. Nice. I gotta say, Glenn Beck, like many of these top propagandists on the right, you can see why they dominate in their rhetoric in terms of manipulating people. This guy, that's what you just saw was a masterclass. I mean, the tone of his voice, I mean, just the way he speaks, he sounds so reasonable. I mean, if I didn't know anything about the guy, I would think this guy's totally reasonable. He sounds like he's sensible and he's talking good stuff like, hey, we should unite. We should stop treating each other the way we do and all this back and forth. And we need to unite, man. We should talk across the aisle. We need to have a dialogue, Let's be nice to those crazy radical left. That's a subtext there. That's what I'm saying. It's very well done because he's still presenting the left. He's still presenting them as radical without actually saying the words, right? Because he's saying like, can you talk to them without them calling you fascist, right? No commentary about what his side is calling the left, right? And is Anna going to go in on him and point this out? Of course not. You see the size of this guy's studio, right? They talk about George Soros. No one on the left has anything close to what this guy's got going, man. This guy has a massive, it looks like a damn CNN studio, right? How does the right wing get all this money? Billionaires, right? Who is surrounding Trump and he's trying to put in the White House? Billionaires. Who does the Republican Party represent? Billionaires. But they like to make the poor and middle class think that they're representing them, right? On different angles. One of the angles is, one day you're going to be as rich as Glenn Beck, and you want to make sure all the little tricks that he's able to utilize that'll be there for you. You don't want these radical leftists to close the loopholes, right? You want to make sure that, all the corruption and the way you could do this and tax this and whatever, loose tax codes that benefit the 1%, leave that stuff, right? Because the Glenn Beck audience, that's where they're headed. Anyway.